On a planet far away from Earth, the planet Doom was ruled by the ruthless Emperor Black Doom, a large, three-eyed alien with large horns. All he wants is to control his hybrid son Shadow, who looks nothing like him. He has plans to make him the ultimate invader of the galaxy to spread their empire. But he did not know he could not break his son's spirit. But that all changed one day for Shadow. At Black Doom's palace, Shadow was standing at the balcony with his hands behind his back, looking at the stars in the sky. "Sometimes I wonder how innocent life is like. I really want to know," Shadow asked himself. Then Black Doom appeared behind him. "They are just nothing but selfish, greedy, emotionless creatures with no love, my son," he said. "I know, but isn't innocent meaning good?" Shadow asked. "That never existed, my son. It's a... it's a cruel world out there," Black Doom said. "I don't understand, Father," Shadow said, looking down a bit. "You don't have to. I got a mission for you now," Black Doom said. "And what is it?" Shadow asked him. "You will travel to planet Earth. There are the Chaos Emeralds, 7 including the Master Emerald. Bring them to me so we can be invincible by the power of them and the Master Emerald. And any Earthlings you see, kill them," Black Doom said. "And why should I go there? Has any of our kind been to this planet?" Shadow asked. "Go and train while your vehicle is ready," Black Doom tells Shadow. "Yes, Father." Shadow nods and heads to the training room to train with some Black Oak soldiers. They bow to him before the training starts, but Shadow simply cocks his neck to make a cracking noise. "Bring it," he said, and takes out a sword. He held it up in ninja style and glares at the Black Oaks. They rush towards him, and he elbows one of them in the gut and jumps on another, then slices the spines. Then Shadow sweep kicks the Black Oak to make it fall over and then throw him at the remaining ones. Black Doom was watching his son training very well. "That's my boy," he chuckled evilly. On Earth, a huge city called Station Square was a beautiful place with skyscrapers, some friendly humans and Mobians, streets, and city lights. Throughout the centuries, when technology wasn't invented yet, humans and Mobians are always at war, and it kept going on and on for years, right after World War II has ended. Right now, in the 21st century, everything changed on Earth. At a cafe, a blue-violet hedgehog was reading Hunger Games while having her soda drink. "It really never gets old. I like them," she said to herself. I never liked those books. I never liked those books," a male hedgehog said in front of her. She puts the book down and saw a male green hedgehog wearing a black leather jacket and sunglasses. He had 2 scars on his chest like claw marks. The female resumes back to reading the book, not in the mood to see his face. "Go away, Sarge. I'm not giving you another chance again. Go back to that slutty fox." "Oh, well, she's not that slutty. And besides, it's wrong talking to a girl," Scourge asked, lifting his eyebrows, showing his eyes. "You cheat on me, and it's unacceptable," she growled. "I was only hanging out with her. I didn't kiss her," Scourge lied. "You're a liar. You're always hanging out with her at that bar, getting drunk and fuck her up. You really think I'm gonna forgive you? You were wrong, and I don't want to see you again." Her eyes glowed purple. "Ever!" "Sheesh, Nebula. Your creepy eyes are so bitchy." Scourge backs off. "Get out of my life!" Nebula growled in anger. "All right, I'm going," Scourge said and walks out of the cafe. Nebula's eyes stopped glowing and she went back reading. "Why don't I find the right guy for me?" she sighs. All of a sudden, her iPhone 6 starts ringing and she looks to see who is calling. She knows who it was and answers it. "Hello, Silver. Yes, I'm heading on my way. Just give me 15 minutes. All right, thanks. Bye." She hangs up. She heads outside of the cafe and walks to the parking lot, unlocking her car door and gets in. starting the car and drives out of the parking lot to head to the astronomy research facility. Back at Planet Doom, Shadow was getting prepared to get to Earth by his spacecraft. It was the same color as him and had the Black Arms logo on.
"Come back to me when you have gotten the Chaos Emeralds and the Master Emerald,"
Black Doom said to Shadow.
"I'll try my best, Father,"
Shadow said.
"if I ever come back here alive." "Understood. Now don't fail me,"
Black Doom said to him. Shadow nods and gets into his spacecraft. Closing the cockpit's window, he turns on the engine and flies off into space, directly towards Earth.
"You'll see what I actually meant using them,"
Black Doom said in a sinister voice. As Shadow got into space, he dodged many comets and asteroids. He used the ship's blasters to shoot objects in the way.
"If I find those Chaos Emeralds, I guess I would get teleporting abilities. No more using a spacecraft like this,"
Shadow said to himself. He then turned the ship on autopilot and went to relax a bit. While he sleeps, his spacecraft dodged and steers itself automatically and focused on getting to Earth. Then suddenly he got something on the radar. He turns off the autopilot and checked it.
"I'm in the right system.
Earth is not far away," Shadow said. He gets the controls and flies past many of the solar system's planets, even the dwarf planet Pluto, in full speed. He flies through the asteroid belt, and he's sure got a problem getting past it, but he blasts his way through them. He then passes by Mars and saw it was too small to be Earth. "That's not Earth." He shook his head and then dodges its moons. Then he saw something blue and green in front of him.
"Hey, that looks like it has life,"
he said and set course of it. Set course of it? He then flies past the moon and slows down a bit. It was now nighttime at Station Square. From outside the city is a large desert where the astronomy research facility is at. It had huge satellites and a building. Nebula, driving her car, was heading to the parking lot to park her car there. She got out and goes to the entrance where she shows her ID card for get in. "Alright, what's the project now?" Nebula said while heading to the laboratory. She puts her white lab coat on and goes into the laboratory where a gray hedgehog was checking some prints for a satellite. "Good evening, Silver. Who is the signals from the Who is the signals from the satellites doing?" Nebula asked him. "Pretty well. Picking up no sign of a threat right now." Wait, no. Oh. "Pretty well. Picking up no sign of a threat right now," Silver said. "What, you think space aliens are going to take over the world?" Nebula joked with a chuckle. "Probably. Now let's get back to work." Silver rolls his eyes. They go to the computers to check satellite pictures. "So, how was your date with Blaze?" "Did you two have fun?" Nebula asked, typing on a keyboard. "Just fine. She is so sweet and kind," Silver said. "That sounds great. I'll be outside to look at the stars," she said. "You really love the stars, don't you?" Silver chuckled. "Yep." Nebula smirked and walks away. Shadow was closing in to the Earth's atmosphere, but a strong pull of velocity was too strong. You can't... Let me read that again. Shadow was closing into Earth's atmosphere, but a strong pull of velocity was too strong. He can't steer the controls.
"Ugh, this is not good."
Shadow struggled to get control. He could feel that the ship began heating up. The pressure of the pull began tearing parts of the ship off. The cockpit began getting cracks. Emergency signal. Shadow pressed a button to send an emergency signal by a small probe from the ship. He then turns the ship to the right, towards Station Square. His ship was now burning. Nebula stood outside the astronomy research facility and looked into the stars, not seeing Shadow coming. That until she saw something fiery coming toward the desert area, and with a loud kaboom, it crashed into the desert. "What's that?" Nebula gasped and flew to where it crashed. When she got close, she saw a partly burnt spacecraft with the wings torn off and the cockpit window crushed. A spacecraft? Nebula was surprised. She got closer and heard a weak groan from the ship. There's someone in there. Nebula checked the cockpit. To her shock, she saw a black and red striped hedgehog, now unconscious and injured. The end of Chapter 1.